pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Buns,
Present.
Reister,
Here.
Lawson,
Here.
Wyatt,
Here.
absent, Engel,
Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda, anything to be removed? If not, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mayor's comments and commendations. Flood work, kept the flood waters out of here finally. Thanks. We'll just defer citizens' requests until Jan and Rachel get here. We'll come back to them if they do show up. Public hearing, open the public hearing on the proposed development agreement with Lot 3 LLC. Katie, any written comments?
none.
Any oral comments? We'll close the
None.
public hearing. General government, Hudson City Council maintains the right to waive the first and second readings of the ordinances presented and may pass the third and final reading of the same ordinance within the same council meeting. Relative to item A, if we had any written comments come in relative to the city administrator position?
No.
Okay. For item A, discussion action to approve the second reading of ordinance 832, an ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Hudson, Iowa by amending chapter 24. City administrator will be open to a motion for the second or a motion to waive the second and pass it to the third.
I'd make a motion to approve the second reading.
Second. Discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reesner,
Aye.
passes 4-0.
Thank you. Item B, discussion action to approve the second reading of ordinance 833, an ordinance providing for the division of taxes levied on taxable property in the June 2020 addition to the Hudson Northern Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area pursuant to section 403.19 of the Code of Iowa. A motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reesner,
Aye.
motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. Are you Rachel?
Yes,
George Wassel.
hi.
I understand you'd like to address the council.
Yeah, we've got a major issue. You know, it's planning and zoning. And over the years, as more and more houses were put up, we kept asking, where is the runoff going to go? Well, I painted my walls with, what's that, flex steel? And the water came up through my basement flooring.
And that was a week and a half ago when we had
That,
that 6-inch
yes,
rain.
I mean, I was just floored
Mhm.
that there's that much water. And I know that they've been out there looking at the ditches. They don't flow, you know, some are clogged, some are too high, some are too small, some are too big or whatever, you know.
Culvert sizes.
Yeah, but, you know, we now have to probably spend more than $10,000. And I'm really upset because I don't feel that the planning was done properly. And this is something I actually studied at UNI, planning and zoning, and so I need help.
What we've got the engineers doing, I think you met Jake, our public works
Yeah.
director. Jake and Steve Jordan were out there. What they did is what they've looked at is ditches have either been filled in over time or filled in from sediment over time. The culverts have been pretty well covered up. So in order to, and from that heavy rain, what they appeared to do is the water maybe came down the road, went into that ditch. The ditch is supposed to carry it on down to the creek. And with that much rainfall, 6 inches in a short period of time, went out of that, and basically yours and probably your neighbors also went across the yards, or mainly
That
yours?
it could, I haven't talked to any
We
of
haven't
my
heard anything
neighbors.
from any of the
Yeah.
other neighbors.
I've been too busy.
Yeah, what we're doing is we've got the city engineer, they had Mark Durbin out there, city engineer. He is going to give us project specifications, what he believes will resolve it, which is probably going to be cleaning out the ditch, probably cleaning and boring some of the culverts, and that's what we'll have to find out from him and what that will do. Now, the thing that'll impact you is that when we do take that out, you'll have to realize you can't fill that back in, so
Right.
it isn't gonna necessarily be mowable,
No, and
but-
that's understandable.
but it should be able to resolve, we expect it to resolve the future issues. The other things we may put in is what's called a subdrain that may also, as the water is sitting there over time, also kind of sucks it out of the ground. But when we get those plans back, we'll make sure that we come meet with you and go over it with you and Jan or whomever you want us to go over it with, so you can see what we've got going. And I would expect, what do you think, probably a couple of weeks, Jake, before Mark gets those back?
Yeah, I talked to him last week, and he was gonna have their crew that comes out and shoots the points,
Okay.
elevations and stuff. They're
Yeah.
gonna be out there hopefully this week or
Yeah.
next week.
It'll be pretty much the same thing that we did along Ranchero on the south side, in front of Leon Nelson and 3 or 4 other houses up through there, which should resolve in the future.
My only problem is that I don't know if, we were gonna sell our house,
Mm-hmm.
and now we feel like that's gonna set us back another, I don't know how much longer.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't expecting something like this.
Sure, sure.
You know, we thought the Flex steel painted on the walls would take care of it, and it
Mhm.
did, but, you know, it cracked our basement floor all the way from the northeast corner to the southwest corner, and then there's cracks here and there. And it really wasn't like, we didn't have flood in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
But what we are worried about is we heard noises in our attic indicating, you know, structural type possible damages. And it's not covered by insurance because it's considered flood.
I'm afraid there's nothing I'm able to offer you on that one. You know, because what would happen there is so much rain, and then over a period of time, the ground becomes saturated,
Right,
and eventually that water just becomes pressure on
Right.
anybody's basement.
but Ann Meyer had started several years back, probably what, more than 10 years?
Okay.
Bringing this to the attention of the council, and we have been worried about it. And I know that the houses that are on the other side of the street from me, that are on top of that hill, that go back, what, 3 or 4 houses?
Yeah, I think there's 3 there.
Yeah, every time it rains, we get water that comes right down in front of my mailbox. And I can't even get to my mail without stepping in the water. And it's,
Well, we'll make sure that Mark looks on that side as well, just to see
I
from that
took him up
standpoint.
there all the way up to that
Did
drive,
you?
we start at the top of
Okay.
the hill and come down.
Yeah, so he'll be giving us a proposal and recommendation as far as the whole thing down through there, Rachel.
And
Okay?
actually, the other day during our last rain, I went out and took a few pictures too,
Did
so that
you?
way I could share with the engineer.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
looking for all my old files that showed some pretty bad rain, so, but I didn't find them.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Rachel?
No, that was basically it.
You're free to go or stay,
Okay.
whatever you want to do.
I'll go.
We're loose here.
I just wanted to let you know how we felt, and I'm a little frustrated because I wanna go RVing.
Oh,
I can't do that as long as I have my house.
and not to Phoenix where it's 117.
No.
Okay.
And I'm not going to Florida because I hear they have a really bad
They have a
COVID-19.
problem right now,
Yeah.
of 15,000 cases a day.
Yeah.
I
So
heard Georgia shut down all the restaurants
Did
again.
they? Oh.
So did somebody else, so,
Yeah,
Yeah,
tough
so I
times
think,
right
I think we're better off to just stay put.
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And if McGee says he's gonna guarantee it, that it never leaks, we could actually have a functioning basement.
Mhm.
So, look at it that way then.
Okay. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, are we on item C?
I don't have a clue.
Yes.
Yeah.
First resolution. Yes, you are.
Item C, discussion action to approve resolution 2648, a resolution for approval of payment request number 2 regarding the US 63 Trail Extension Phase Project in the amount of $262,269.77. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Discussion?
I have a question.
Yep.
Is this, it it's not really that much pertaining to the payment part of this, but, this is part of the underpass,
Yes,
right?
Yep.
Um,
but I think 111,000 plus retainage yet to go,
what
something
are,
like that.
what's the plan for, kind of on the rain topic, have you been through the underpass? It is just a giant dirt.
Well, probably because we don't have
mess.
any of the seating down and
I
didn't
know,
have the
it's-
final.
It's due to no cover.
It's,
Is it mud in there now?
yeah.
Are there
it's
lights in
bad.
it?
Yes,
Yes.
there's lights in
Yeah.
it.
It's really nice, it really is nice, but right now, like, both corners,
Mhm.
you know, when you come turn
Yeah.
from
I don't run that way.
the other side or the, it's bad, it's really
It's not big
bad.
enough to get a skid loader in there, is there?
Might be tight.
Small tractor with a trailer to scoop up the mud?
Yeah, I don't know, it's bad, but I,
Realistically, right now, it should be the contractor,
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
I
cause
can-
we don't own it yet.
Yeah, I can talk to the general or
okay,
the.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
Or talk to.
right now, I would
someone
guess
else.
it's a safety issue, cause if a bike hits that corner just right, they're going.
Really, I don't, they should, I think, have it closed off, because it's technically an ongoing construction
I
site.
agree. So we may wanna talk to the general about that, because we have not finalized that, it is not on our city yet. And the regular trail was closed until it was officially final payment done,
Mhm.
technically.
Anyways, it's.
The
it's
other
how
side
we
of that
have it
too, though,
right now.
coming up from there, though, Brenda, if you think about this, is what's gonna happen when it freezes too? If we get ice at those, if we get mud right now, we're gonna have ice problems.
Do you think the mud's there because of, they didn't have everything completed when the mud got in there?
Yeah,
There's a washover.
everything, there is an area drain down there where the water's supposed to run to. As far as when winter hits, we'll do our best we can with the salt
Supposedly,
and
when that
equipment
was
we have.
designed, it was designed so we
There
could
wouldn't-
get something in there to snowplow.
Yes, yes.
Well, I don't have any problem with you going in with your small tractor and a trailer to try to scoop up the stuff that's laying there.
I would wait, I would talk
Let's
to
see,
general first if
but
we
we-
don't own it,
We got citizens walking through it right now.
then tell them to shut it off, is what I would say, cause if we
Should
don't own
put
it,
our
do we
own
wanna
police
go
tape
in there?
across the ends?
That's fine, we can throw some signs in, because the thing that I'm concerned with is if we damage something, then we're liable for victim.
True, yeah.
So,
Okay, so you got signs you can put up, barricade it off?
Yeah, I can reach out to Warren either
Find out
tonight or
from Warren.
tomorrow and just ask if there's
I'm
something
just
that
saying,
can be done.
it, to me, I mean, I was just running and about ate it, turning the corner and.
I did
If
this
you were,
morning.
yeah, if you're on a bike, like,
Yeah,
Are there
but I
cameras?
wasn't under the underpass, but I was going around it and I biffed it. Cause the mud got out, I thought I'd gotten through the mud, but nope, I didn't,
Yeah.
and I ate it
and
right
a
in
lot of
front
that
of
is
Holger's house.
probably stormwater control that isn't doing its job or it's not in
Yeah.
place. So,
Swift.
which, and that should be up to I believe the engineer should be keeping a good eye on that.
well, and that's the thing, you said about that storm drains, when I was looking at, cause that, it, you know, it had me kind of look at the situation, I was like, the way the water's gonna go there, just how it's like tilted or what? I'm not an engineer though, so I'm not gonna like
No, I'll reach out
judge,
to
but
them.
I'm just saying something doesn't look right.
It is something that we need to keep in mind before we sign off on it, for sure. Because if it's not gonna work right, and we've paid to have it engineered to work right, we need to do
Yeah.
that before we sign off.
The best way to test it
Flood
is
it.
when they get done, is get the fire department, take their tanker down there and put in water the way it's gonna go and make sure it goes
Goes where
ahead
it's
and all
supposed
gets
to.
down those drains or out where it's supposed to.
We get a
That'd be a
Zamboni
great
too.
way to do it.
Like I'm saying,
No, I agree with you.
I'll reach out to
I
the
said, I'm not an
tonight.
engineer, but it didn't look like it was doing what it was supposed to do.
I'm sure it's okay. Okay,
With
did
your
we have a
engineering
vote on this
degree?
thing yet?
No,
Okay,
we have a motion and a second.
okay. Any further discussion?
No.
Roll call.
Lawson,
Aye.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reesner,
It's,
Aye.
it's Reister.
sorry,
Not Reesner.
Reister. Why didn't you correct me?
I don't care.
Carried 5-0.
I don't care.
That one
We're
guy
not
over
paying
there.
attention.
All right, good.
I wasn't.
Item D, discussion action to approve resolution 2649, a resolution for approval of change order number 1 regarding the Thelma Street reconstruction project for the city of Hudson, the amount of $20,240.80. These are storm sewer inlets that when we went into this project, we let the bid on the basis of everything is the way we think it should be. Here it is. These things were absolutely crap.
Yeah, those
And need to be
pictures were too
replaced, so we gave them verbal approval to go ahead and do it and get the thing moving, so.
And this will also add 2 weeks to the project.
You're right.
because we have to wait for them to be filled.
I'll move to approve this.
Second,
Second,
discussion, roll call.
Wyatt,
Discussion.
Aye.
Sorry. Thinking Reister.
Reister,
Matt, you're up.
Reister,
You're up.
Buns,
aye.
Lawson,
Oh,
Aye.
jeez.
motion carries 5-0.
Does Brenda
Engel
get-
abstains.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh.
It's fine.
Item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2650, resolution for approval of payment request number 2 regarding the Thelma Street reconstruction project, the Hudson Hardware Plumbing and Heating, the amount of $20,257.33.
So moved.
Second,
Discussion,
whatever.
roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye. Thought I heard
Reister,
something else.
Lawson,
Aye.
Engel,
Abstain.
motion carries 4-0.
Item F, discussion action to approve a resolution 2561, a resolution for approval of change order number 1 regarding the US 63 Trail Extension Phase 2 project for the city of Hudson, Iowa, in the amount of $11,106.94. And what this is for is, it had planned chain link fence along the east side, but the problem is there's not enough distance between the trail and the utilities. We would have had to move a ton of utilities. So the option that they proposed to us was to put the chain link fence on top of the cement, bolted through. So that's the reason that we said, yes, we will want to do it that way. So that's what I'm requesting approval for.
Ultimately, it's cheaper to do this than to move all the utilities.
Yeah,
And
plus
plus
disruption, it would add
they're
time.
going the entire length of the trail, where before they were just going to pick up the yards that didn't have chain link or
Yeah.
fences in their backyard.
Yeah, they were gonna do, it was spec'd at 585, only to be in front of the houses that did not already have their own chain link fence. Well, we wanna do the whole 750 something.
Is there gonna be then, for the ones that do have chain link fence, is there gonna be room in between that'll need to be mowed or?
There will be a small area, we can give them the option to tie onto our fence, which I'd be okay with, or we can sneak back or mow it if we have to.
Okay, cause I'm just
It'll
concerned
be
with,
maintainable, yeah.
yeah, then make sure it's maintainable, or even if we
Yeah.
had to put rock there
I
or
was gonna say,
something.
down the road, we may have to look at rock.
Or something just to go in between there,
There's
cause,
probably, I'd say 3 foot
okay.
between. and
Cause
then-
yeah, if it's my house and I only mow up to the fence and now there's gonna be this weeds on the other side, I'm not gonna be happy about that. So,
And they
okay.
probably won't wanna tie in their fences just because then they got utilities are over top of in case the utility company comes back.
I
So
would venture to
it was
guess
one of
the
those
same.
things that probably
Yeah.
could have been structured better.
So moved.
Second,
Further discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt,
aye.
Engel,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
move 5-0.
Item G, discussion action to approve resolution 2652, a resolution approving development agreement with Lot 3 LLC authorizing annual appropriation tax increment payments and pledging certain tax increment revenues to the payment of the agreement.
So moved.
Second. Discussion.
I thought at one time we discussed we weren't gonna go except for 80% for the first so many years.
I think what we talked about was not to go over 75% in total.
Like averaged out.
Yeah, so this is 100 at 5 and 50 at 5, which averages at the, gives them a benefit on the front end when their cash flows are probably the worst.
And this is the same type of rebate we would have given D&W as well.
We
Okay.
had looked at it that way.
I
and
thought we
then-
did.
But then we penciled it out and it was actually in our favor to do it this other way.
Okay.
Because I was the same way going, absolutely not, why are we doing 100%?
I
And
thought
then
that
when
was-
George penciled it out for me, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense then. I'm fine with that, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
Financially, it worked out
In
better
the
on our
grand
end.
scheme of things, it's basically the same thing that we're offering everybody, it's just,
Okay.
it's
Which
just
means-
modeled a little
Yep.
differently.
So do I have a approval motion already?
Yes.
Yes.
Roll call?
Lawson,
Aye.
Buns,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
moved 5-0.
Item H, discussion action to approve resolution 2653, resolution setting wages for city employees of the city of Hudson, Iowa for fiscal year 2020 and 2021, this is Jeremy Even moving in additional 34 cents, which is 1.5%, and we sent you out an additional packet, was recommended by Personnel Committee.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Buns,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Moved 5-0.
Number of informational items in there, reminder items, regular scheduled meetings, council chambers except electric board and library board. Public Works Committee, July 15th, 7 a.m. Mayor's Task Force, July 21st, 5 p.m. Public Safety, July 23rd, 4 p.m. Personnel Admin Finance Committee, July 27th at 4:45 p.m. Next council meetings, July 27th at 6 p.m. and August 10th at 6 p.m. Motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's Matt's.
We have to leave that one for him. If he doesn't do anything else the whole rest